Welcome back, guys, to another video, another morning workout talk video. I wasn't able to post morning workout videos I think Friday of last week because of Good Friday. I was off. I still went to the gym. I just went at a later time, and so I didn't post it then. And then, of course, Monday, I was off from work Monday. I still went to the gym. I just didn't post on Monday. My time it was off. I didn't go as early as I normally go, because I normally go to the gym early because I'm going to work. But when I'm off, I kind of sleep in just a little bit longer, stay in bed just a little bit longer, just to get some more rest in, and then I go. But here we are, Wednesday. I go morning, Wednesday, Friday. So here we are with another morning workout talk, brought to you by me. Yeah, so today I'm going to be working out on chest and triceps. I'm going to do a little bit of calf raises, some lower body workout. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. Yeah. And I think I remember I told you guys on Tuesdays and Thursdays I was going to be doing my yoga stretches. I feel so good when I do something in the morning actively before I wake up. It sets me off right. I just can't see myself not doing anything. So I didn't do it Tuesday. I did stretch, but I didn't do my my yoga video, because that takes an hour. I had to go to work yesterday, and I woke up a little bit later than I wanted to, so I wasn't able to do my yoga video. I would have to get up like around 3:50ish, brush my teeth, get my clothes ready, and then do the yoga video. I have to at least start by 4 a.m. to do the yoga video, and then the yoga video takes about an hour. So let's say I'm done by 5, and then my wife starts to get up around 5 something, and I start to get my daughter ready. My wife gets my son ready, and my oldest daughter could get herself ready. When I say get themselves ready, I mean wake up, brush their teeth, get dressed, stuff like that. Get ready for the day. My 2 little ones, they go to little school. I call it little school. I don't like to call it daycare, because it's like a school. It's not like they're just there running around and people are watching them. It's not babysitting. They actually have a curriculum. It's an early learning center. I actually love the school. Both my little ones, my 5-year-old and 3-year-old, have learned a lot there. So I like that. I like that place. It's not perfect, and it's definitely not cheap, but we all know any one of us who has had kids and who have put their kids through that system of what they call daycare, we all know how expensive that can be. Yeah, so that's how I usually do it. I didn't do it yesterday though, but I'm gonna get back at it tomorrow. And my mom, just to give you guys an FYI, my mom today is having surgery. So when I get to work, I'm gonna be leaving work at around 11 something. I'm gonna do a half day. I want to be there for her surgery, and I want to be able to take her home. I don't know if I gave you I don't know if I informed you guys about what's going on with her. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but she has hydrocephalus. It's when you get fluid in the brain due to cerebrospinal fluid that goes up to your brain. It puts a lot of pressure on your brain. It can cause immobility, headaches. It can cause shortness of like memory loss, because it's just so much pressure. And she has to get that surgery done. It's called they put in a shunt, like a 10-minute surgery, but nothing major. She was a little bit nervous yesterday in the hospital, and she was, I told her I'll be there, I'll see you again. My brother kind of helped her get there today. Me, my sister, and my brother, we've been like tag teaming, helping my mom out. Whoever's available just goes to help her out. So yeah, that's the plan today. That's the plan. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm starting to have this sort of not a not a defeatist mentality. It's almost a mentality of with all the things that I know, not that I know a lot, but the few things that I know about how the world works, about about the extraterrestrial involvement with our reality, about the multiverse, about the holofractal um, universe that we're under, about the information about source, meaning the source of reality, the thing or the entity that we should be referring to as God, and actually we're all gods because we are emanating from that source. We're just little miniature versions of the ultimate source. No human being should be worshiping anything. I don't care how powerful that thing is more than you. We were never made to worship. Um, if you are worshiping, it's because there was a specific gene that was put inside of us when we were created by those Anunnaki extraterrestrial beings. That's why it's in people to want to worship. It actually is hard work not to worship. You have to actually pull away from that. Um, but luckily, fortunately for us, during the creation process, we were one of the extraterrestrial beings was able to deceive the brother and put in our gene the ability to turn that worship gene off. And I've turned it off completely. I don't worship anything. Because worshiping doesn't do anything for anybody. If you just look at the world today, there's like a church on every damn corner. With all the people worshiping, you would think that this world would be a utopic type of world, but it's not. As a matter of fact, the world is getting worse and worse. And then people want to blame, well, if people would just turn to God. Man, people have been turning to God for centuries. That stuff is nonsense. Excuse me, I was just about to curse, but it's nonsense. The people would tell themselves anything to sleep better at night. And people have this individualistic mindset, sort of a self-absorbed paradigm where you think that you are the most important thing in the world, and people's religions have made them think that way. You know, about a God dying for your sins. You're so special. He sent his only son on the cross for you, and all this other nonsense. It's the sentimental value is increasingly steeped in emotional appeal, where it appeals to the human emotion when we are more likely to lean into that type of narrative because it feels good to the emotions. But logically speaking, it doesn't make any damn sense. Of course, then the book that these people taught as being religious will tell you that people who lean to their own understanding are foolish, and people who are simply dumb and don't think are the smart ones. And that's what I've been noticing about people lately. If anybody questions anything out of the Bible, or questions the dogma, the dogmatic narrative that's put forth by the Bible, then you're deemed to be a person that's carnal minded. You are fleshy. You're not thinking in the spirit. When does thinking in the spirit mean that you have to absolve yourself of any type of rational thinking? I mean, we use our brains for everything else. When we're driving on the road, we use our brains to maneuver traffic. We use our brains to make a lot of the decisions we make. All of the decisions we make, we use our brains. So why all of a sudden when something is, as profound as spirituality, why is that all of a sudden you turn your brain off? That doesn't make sense to me. I would argue that you should use your brain more. Spirituality and logical thinking are one. All right, they're not mutually exclusive. They're one and the same. They're just operating on two different paradigms. One is the unseen and one is the seen. Things that are logical are things that you could conceptualize, right? You can see it in the abstract. And then things that you cannot see are more scientific. Like we can't see, I mean, we have to get certain tools to see microorganisms and microbiome and things like that. But when we don't see bacteria, we don't see a lot of the things around us. That's the science part. That's the spirit part. Spirit is the unseen. So, but everything functions underneath the governance of logic, underneath the governance of mathematical law, underneath the universe. The universe operates in a way that makes sense. Everything has a purpose. So all of a sudden, when it comes to spirituality, we're just supposed to be like, oh, we don't know, just God works in mysterious ways. I mean, people will extend themselves in absurdity to make sure that they can fit their ignorant, dogmatic narratives inside their brains to make them sleep better. And I used to be one of those. I mean, I would Bible thump. I would hold that Bible to people and say this is what the scripture says. And in my foolish days, I didn't know that book was taken out of context. I didn't know my history. I didn't know the history behind that Bible. I didn't know how it was curated and edited. I didn't know that it was taken from many, many other books that predated by over 100,000 years. I didn't know that they got most of their stuff out of the Sumerian tablets. I didn't know that the Bible was a collage of ancient epics and ancient tales, all mixed, matched, and put into one book. I didn't know that they took out certain words. I didn't know that there was a council that decided what books would be in and what books would be out. Once you start doing that with a book, then that's not a word from God. That's not word from source. That's just word from alien beings. That's just words from created beings that were probably more highly technologically more advanced than us, and who were able to do things that we couldn't do, who were able to expose us to certain truths that we had never known if we didn't read it. But that doesn't make that book from source. No, certain things of the Bible have truth. I'm not saying everything in the Bible is a lie, but it's taken completely out of context, and the way that people view the creator of the universe is totally misaligned with reality. And it's to the point now that my job is not to influence anybody. This is just me talking. And if what I'm saying resonates with you, fine. If it doesn't, that's fine as well. I even had a person leave a comment on one of my videos saying, "Oh, I pray for you, brother, that you find God before it's too late." Why the hell do I need to find the creator? I am the creator. The creator is me. I am it. It's me. Like we're one. If the existence of life in itself comes from a source, then we are part of that source. We're just different. That source is just experiencing realities, multiple realities, through different states of consciousness. I happen to be one of them. My mom happens to be one of them. Your mom, you, your sisters, everybody. We are all part of that creator. So if you're going to worship anything, worship yourself. What do I mean by worship yourself? Take care of yourself. Put yourself first. There's nothing wrong with being selfish, because you are no good to anybody else if you just keep extending yourself. You know, my sister, she's like that. She extends herself. I got to do this for the Lord. I got to do this for the Lord. Do this for the Lord. The Lord told me this. The Lord told me that. But you're constantly not resting. You're not getting any sleep. You're waking up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning before you go to work, doing a prayer line. You could be doing something else for yourself. Like, how is that? Like, this idea that sacrificing yourself all the time is something that's good for you. It's not good. There has to be a balance. It's hard to sacrifice yourself when there's nothing of yourself, when you're emptied. And people say, well, empty yourself and God will fill you back up. That's the most absurd, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's not some magical elixir that's going to flow from the sky, is going to fill your cup back up. You have to have the responsibility as a sentient being to be accountable, to hold yourself accountable, and to be responsible for the decisions that you make, to make sure that you're doing things to fill your own damn cup up. And then, like a wise being that you're supposed to be, rather than giving off your brain to some external power or force, that you can set your own schedule to what you're going to give yourself to, or sacrifice yourself to, whether it's to your children, to your wife, to an organization, to anything. Then you pull back. You just don't extend yourself 100% and empty yourself. Then you become nothing. Then you don't even have the energy to take care of yourself. So there has to be a balance, and it has to be measured. You have to be very strategic in your efforts and trying to make sure that you stay above ground. That's why do you think most religious people are always down? They're always say, you're supposed to be serving this God that's the benevolent God. They're supposed to be the happiest. They're supposed to be the healthiest. They're supposed to be the wisest. But I find the opposite to be true. They're the unhealthiest. They're the dumbest. Okay? And there's nothing more unspiritual than religion. Religion is the antithesis of spirituality. It's quite the opposite. All right? True spirituality is looking within yourself, because everything that you need is already put inside you. From the way your brain functions, from the way our bodies are aligned with the cosmos, the female-male concept, even the planets have a direct lineage and have a direct connection with us. The pineal glands in our brain, how we operate underneath the sun, and how sunlight and the eradication of the sun, how it works with our bodies, how food works with our bodies. I mean, we are incredible beings. Our existence is miraculous in the sense that we just take it for granted because we see ourselves every day, and we're just so immersed into this world system that it's hard for us to see how special we are. Then we go outward to seek something that's already in ourselves. I mean, how dumb is that? But anyway, yeah. So with all that I know, I don't have a defeatist mentality. I'm to the point now, I'm going to just govern and operate myself accordingly with what I know. And then it's not my job to influence anybody, to make anybody think like me, or anyone is entitled to think the way they think. And I just know if people ask me questions, I'll give them an answer. That's how far it goes. But I'm not going to be going out there trying to, because what I know today may be different from what I gain tomorrow, right? So just like I was Bible thumping then, thinking I knew it all with the Bible, I'm not going to go thumping people's heads about what I know now and say, oh, this is the way it is, you should do this. No. I think everybody has their own level of growth. Everyone has their time when they're stuck in a sleep, and this is just a waking up process for me. It doesn't mean that I know it all. And even the information that I know now doesn't mean that I know it all. I'm continually evolving. So I am humble enough to say that I don't know it all. But I know what I don't know, and I know what I do know, and I also know what I don't know. Because there's more things to know. And part of living, the part of our duty as human beings is to continually to evolve, not to stay stagnant into one thing and just think that that's it. I'm going to continue doing research and finding out things about our history. All right? And it's my personal growth. It's my personal responsibility to do that to myself, not to rely on some being that's going to take care of it all and he's going to save the day. No. It's my job to learn, get the information, and give it off to my kids, and hopefully my kids can give it to their kids. That's how we evolve the generations to come, not to stay stymied in one thing and everyone passing down the same dumbass traditions from one tradition to the next. It's like from one generation to the next, passing on the same damn story. That's how we remain stagnant as a people. That's how slaves think. It's hard for them to think outside their reference. They just stay within that cipher. They can never extend themselves past that, because they continually are being told the same stories over and over again from one generation to the next. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. It's 4:54 a.m. They're opening up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye.